Dodgers-Red Sox pulled off the deal. Ned Colletti, the architect from the Dodgers standpoint, perspective, side of the deal. He joins us now. Excitement level, if you can tell me, once the Red Sox said, yeah, we'll do this, what was your excitement level?
Candidly, it was pretty strong. I don't get too high or too low on anything, Dan, but knowing how we've been trying to find a first baseman here for a while, and knowing the free agent market looks like, and knowing how popular and how good this player has been in the NL West, in Adrian's case, we think it's a huge move, and we're fine with Carl. We think he's got a chance to be back to being dynamic. And with Josh, you never have enough pitching, especially this time of year, as Billingsley's elbow can attest to. And Nick also brings what Jerry Hairston left behind when he got hurt. So it's exciting to have this opportunity and to build our team and to build our lineup and to build it in a case of a few guys here with some star power for LA.
You had been after Gonzalez for a long time. I'm going to guess back in the San Diego days. It wasn't just Boston. You.
No, that's correct.
Right?
Yeah, that's correct.
At what point did you start to make a move when he was in San Diego?
I can't remember which trading deadline it was. It was either 08 or 09. But wow. I had talked with Kevin Towers. He wouldn't talk about him until probably the last 24 hours. And then he'd only listen. He wouldn't talk back. He'd only listen. So that's 3 or 4 years back that we tried. Then when he got traded to Boston and signed that long-term deal, I kind of thought, you know what, we're never going to be able to get this player back out this way.
If you were the Red Sox, you were running the Red Sox, would you have taken this deal?
Well, I hate being in somebody else's shoes. I got enough shoes here to fill all the time.
But you have to play that role, though, Ned, where you have to say, if I'm on his end, what can I give him? What makes sense? So would you have taken this, given everything that was going on?
I'd have to make a lot of assumptions. I'd have to make a lot of assumptions on where they were with Carl, where they were with Josh. And
okay.
I guess I can do that I can do that by reading publicly, which is dangerous because it's an opinion. It's not my opinion. And in that case, they did lose a lot of money off their payroll, and they did get some young pitching back that has a chance. Again, they're prospects right now. One's coming off, a different situation, and the other guy's, still in Double-A. But they've got some talent to work with there, and they're going to have extreme payroll now to work with to be able to do what they want to do. Whether or not they can find people on the free agent market, everybody scouts differently. I just know it was, as we looked at the projected market going forward, free agent-wise, whether it's a 212, 213 market or 213, 214 market, we didn't see necessarily players of this ilk, especially a first baseman, coming available. I think Prince was probably the last one to leave.
And you guys went after him. Mattingly said you guys thought you were in the hunt for Prince right up till the end.
I believe we were. We were talking to Scott Boras for probably 2 months before Prince signed, 6 weeks easily. And until Victor Martinez got hurt and until Detroit started to get involved, probably within the last 4 or 5 days before they signed him, from what I can cobble together in my thought process here, we thought we had a shot to sign him.
He's Ned Colletti, the Dodgers GM, joining us, the Dan Patrick Show. State of the Dodgers 18 months ago and now. You've been there behind the battle lines here. Tell the audience, what's it been like?
It's drastically different. I think as the last 2 years up until let's use May 1st as the cutoff point. The 2 years before May 1st were difficult, and it was we needed to try and figure a way to keep it afloat and keep all the outside noise really out of the clubhouse and keep our team together and keep them riveted on trying to win games. I think the last half of last season was fulfilling, even though we barely finished over 500, and just how they were able to focus. And then we just had to keep it afloat until we got to this point. And it's really been a freeing type of environment now, where our conversations are really based on making baseball trades, figure out how to make the team better. Finances are always going to be a consideration because you just can't be unruly or reckless in what you do. But if it makes sense, and these are big picture people, the Guggenheim Group and Stan and Magic, they are huge picture people. They're not just looking at who's going to hit fourth in the Dodgers lineup. They're looking at a vast array of effects, cause and effects to everything they do. and it's been great. They our free agent shopping, when we weren't allowed really to get involved, and some guys to a very deep level. The last few years, our free agent shopping for probably the last 2 or 3 winters took place in July and August of this year.
How important was winning with Frank McCourt running this team?
It was very important. It's always been important to everybody. Frank wanted to win. There's no question he wanted to win, and certainly my constitution has got nothing attached to it otherwise. I grind out every day. I agonize when we get beat. Billy Martin years ago said, when you win, you're content for about a half hour, then you start agonizing about the next game. When you lose, you agonize all the way till the next pitch of the next game. So winning is huge. And in this city, it's, as you know, it's the only thing. Nobody cares, if you fall just a hair short or this or that. They want winners, they want stars, they want entertainment. This is what you're entrusted to do here. So it was big.
How much do you keep an eye on what the Lakers do and being the team in this town? The importance of that competition-wise that factor into you, Ned?
Honestly, not really. I wish them a lot of success. I think they're a great organization, and they do great stuff. And what they did this past summer, and I don't pay daily attention to it, but I do know a couple of the guys that they brought in here who are really marquee guys and have a chance to keep the dynasty rolling. I think that's great for them. We obviously have no effect over somebody in the National League West and what they do, let alone somebody in another part of town in another sport. But I think it's great for the city when people do well and when teams are successful. And if you can be a part of that, it just brings the whole city together more, and the momentum you get going from that, it's huge. You never know what that can turn into as a collective group.
You got a World Series team now?
Well, you know what? It's interesting because the names now give you far more hope. Okay, but you still have to play the game, and you got to play it fundamentally sound. You got to execute offensively and defensively, and when you have to make a pitch, we still have to stay healthy. Having Billingsley go out the other day with a tender elbow, just on the night of what we had percolating, it was like, geez, here we go again. So you have all these things that you got to keep in the air all the time. If we can stay healthy and do the fundamentals of the game and the execution of it, I think we got a chance to get in there. But we've got to get to October before we can get into deep October.
Got any more deals?
We're trying to do one more if we can, but it's more precarious than ever at this point in time because you're really down to the last few days. I've been able to tinker here and there in the month of August since I've been here. Years ago, we got Marlon Anderson, who wasn't a big name on August 31st, but ended up hitting 5 home runs in September. Ronnie Belliard, I think in 08 or 09, not a big name, ended up hitting 370 the last month. And Greg Maddux, of course, tremendous Hall of Fame guy, and Tomey, Hall of Fame guy, Johnny Garland. So we're able to tinker with it here and there. This one was obviously not a tinker. This was more of a makeover, so to speak, in some areas. But I think if we're trying, we're still on the phone with a lot of clubs going into the 31st of August, and hopefully we can pull one more player out of it. But this will be the toughest stretch that we've encountered since the Ramirez trade back on the 24th of July.
Why will it be tough?
Well, because you have less players that have cleared. You've got to have what we're looking for is specific.
Are you looking for pitching?
Well, Dan, I can't tell you everything, but yeah, you could guess that, I guess.
Okay, thank you. So you did tell me after I guessed. Okay, so you're going after pitching, right-handed or left-handed?
Well, I'm not getting
reliever, starter.
That's actually a little bit irrelevant for us. If we can find another starting pitcher or a reliever that throws from either side that we think can help us, it'd be something we would definitely pursue. And we've had conversations going back 2 weeks on this, and we're continuing to do it. But it's when you look at the list that's cleared, and we have we're privy to that list. It's not like there's 12 names out there that you can get, because the combination is they've cleared, they're healthy, they can help the club, and the other team is willing to move them, and you've got the best offer for them. So you got to check off like 5 boxes. And at this stage of the season, some of the teams that are out of it, they're looking really a little bit towards next year, and they may need that player next year as well. Even though it may make sense from 30,000 feet to make a deal like that, a lot of times it does make sense. But to them, it doesn't, because you know what? Who are we going to find next year to take this guy's spot if we move him now for a prospect?
And how close were you to get Cole Hamels?
You know what? I don't think we were close at all. I mean, he was never a free agent, and I never talked to Ruben.
Okay.
I did talk to Ruben way back when about him, but that was just to kind of gauge if they had any interest in doing it.
No, because I had heard that you guys, this was high priority. That you thought you had a chance that he might not re-sign there, or you could trade for him.
Well, he was never
made available.
That never got off the ground.
All right. Well, I know you're busy, and you got one more deal to pull off. Now, what's that pitcher's name? I can't remember. What's his name? Wait a minute, let me write it down this time. Cliff Lee. Wait, what's his name?
Well, we'll call you first.
Thank you, Ned. Thank you, bud. Hey, congrats.
All right.
All right. Ned Colletti, Dodger GM.